What do you do when someone else's behavior is bothering you? What do you do when your coworker who sits right across you is chewing gum so loudly that you cannot concentrate? What do you do if you're in a restaurant, you're asking the waitress the 5th time, where's my water? And there's no sign of water. What do? You get angry? Do you just burst out with anger and yell at the other person? Or do you just swallow the anger and keep it inside? Like, that's a healthy choice. That's not productive. Either you yell at someone or just keep it in. So instead of blaming others, judging others, or even attacking others, consider this. Assert yourself effectively. Think about how can you express your concern, how can you express and share with the other person what you need, and ask for their help to get you what you need. So in the next few minutes, you're going to learn a 4-step process that will help you to facilitate that will help you to assert yourself effectively, as well as few tips that will help you to facilitate the process well. 4-step process. The first step is to state the problem. A lot of times, someone else's behavior that's bothering you, the problem is actually how that behavior affects you. The problem is around you, not that person. Use that gum chewer example. The person who chewed gum was not distracted by the sound. She was chewing gum. Not even aware of it. You are the one that was distracted and couldn't concentrate. So the first step is to state the problem and share with the other person how does that, why that is a problem. What is the problem? For example, you may say it to the coworker to say, well, Jenny, I really need to finish the report by 2 o'clock, and you know the way the sound of the chewing gum is just I get distracted, and I couldn't concentrate. State the problem. The second step is tell your feeling. Share with the other person how do you feel, how this behavior impacts you. You may say, Jenny, I'm really worried that I couldn't finish the report because I'm distracted. So share the feeling with the other party. And that leads to the third step, ask for help, or you specify a solution. It can be as straightforward as, would you mind to stop chewing gum? That's so I can really concentrate and finish the report. The fourth step is then to state a positive outcome, because that if the solution is accepted. If you can stop chewing gum now, then I can work on the report, we can get it out on time, and my boss will be happy. State a positive outcome so the other person knows what would be a positive consequence if he or she stop the behavior. A couple of tips that will help you to facilitate the process. First, and the most importantly, is to speak up immediately. You don't want for days, weeks, years after the behavior occurs and say, yeah, by the way, in the July 2009, you did this and I wanted to correct that. Nobody's gonna remember it. And plus, by then you probably already keep the stress inside for like 2 years or so, and that's just not productive. It's not helping the other person either. A second tip is be direct. Just say what it is. you're doing the noise is really distracting me. Say what it is so the other person don't get distracted. Be pleasant. Smile, and with a friendly tone always helps, that the other person will be more willing to help you. Be calm. Don't get emotional. You know, remain a composure that you can make sure you can communicate the message clearly to the other person. And last but not least, be persistent and stay on track. If you don't get what you need, just say it again. Keep going. Don't give up. So with that, I would like to invite my conversational partner, Shannon, on stage. We're going to do a short role play, and after that, we'll have a debrief. It's working, Shannon. Yes. And the scenario, I was thinking with our scenario, you're making something new. All right. The scenario is Shannon never replied my emails or phone calls, and you really need some information from her. Wow, she is ready.
She got props.
Wow.
Oh, impressed.
Hi, Shannon.
Yeah.
Do you see the email I sent you earlier? Did you see the email I sent you earlier?
Maybe.
The request about the report?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I really need you to give me a yes or no about the report.
The report?
Yeah, the report.
Which report?
The report, the financial report that the vice president was asking. I really need you to, give me a green light whether
Oh,
it's
yeah,
or
I did
not.
that. I did that.
Okay,
Yeah, I sent it in.
great.
Yeah, I sent it in. Yeah.
I haven't seen it in my inbox. Do you mind to just double check if you have sent it to me?
I think I forgot to CC you. Sorry.
Oh, well, that's okay. Do you mind to just send it to me now if you don't mind? Great. Thank you very much.
All right, fine. But I get tired of all these emails.
I know, me too. But we have to deal with this, and that's part of the process. The vice president just want to make sure Shannon approve this and she's okay with it, then the financial report can go out. It's an important part of the process.
But why do I have to keep sending copies to you? They're supposed to go to the chairman. I send it to the chairman. My work is done.
Yeah. I don't know who made this process. They have a long checklist of people who has to sign it. And but if you can just help me to get this report out, I would really appreciate it.
Okay.
You don't mind.
I'll try. Okay. I'll send you a copy. I'll try to remember to copy you every time I send it to the chairman.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Shannon.
Oh, okay.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
Okay.
So, what did I do and what I didn't do? Have you noticed anything? Anybody? Yes.
You stated the problem, I think.
I did or I didn't?
You did.
I did. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. And yes, I believe I stated the problem. I may not be as clear about my feeling, but I do appreciate it once she's willing to help me. And if she can help me, then I describe I've suggested a solution. If she can send that to me, would be great. And I describe what would be a positive outcome if she helped me out. So I thought it was worked out pretty nicely, and thank you very much, Shannon, help me out with this. And with that, I hope that will help you to find a way to be able to assert yourself next time when someone else's behavior is getting you away of what you want. Mr. Toastmaster.
Julia, I thought that you had a very compelling and interesting opening with great vocal variety. It did make me want to listen to you. You had a long list of, you stated that there were 4 things you need to do in order to resolve this problem, but then you had a bunch of other suggestions for facilitating it and encouraging the change that you wanted to see. When you give one list and then two lists, it seems like that's too much to remember. So I thought that that kind of distracted from it. Also, I did not like your ratty little notes that you brought up with you. I thought, And one thing I did think that you did very well was you were very pleasant and persistent in the case of somebody who really did not want to do what you wanted. The one thing I don't think that you did, which other people did say you do, you didn't state why it was a problem for you. You said, oh, there's a chain of command, could you just send it back to me? And I said, well, it's for the chairman. I just sent it to the chairman. You didn't say if I don't know what's on it. You didn't say why it was a problem for you, which made me far less likely to actually remember this. The one thing that I thought that you did do a great job of, well, not the one thing, I thought you were pleasant and persistent and you were very grateful. So if I were unhappy about doing it, you did turn me around on that, and I thought you modeled that very well.
Julia, I thought it was a very interesting speech. Strong points. I like your pause in the beginning. I think you do a very natural and rehearsed, effective pause. Very effective. You also ask questions in the beginning. What would you do if this? What would you do if that? And I thought that always, asking questions attract the audience. You gave 4 very distinct steps, so that was very clear, very organized. And then you followed by tips. Tips 1, tip 2, tip 3, and that was very effective. Just one area for growth. I am assuming this was also not rehearsed, right? Okay, because I asked the same question last time when you gave the speech, and also here's my recommendation, and consider it, is to write a play. Write a play, say, just imagine the whole story from A to Z, that you came to your colleague and she was doing this and that, and you even see what kind of props you want her to use, and then rehearse it with her or with him. I thought maybe it would be more effective rather than spontaneous. It has positive and negative, but you at least try it and see how it goes. Good speech, thank you.
Julia, I love the fact that you used the you, the whole you, all the way through. What did you do? How would you do this? Where would you do this? You will learn, you will discover. That's wonderful because it involves the audience. When you use the you, everybody benefits and really focuses in. Questions. Questions are wonderful, very powerful. There's something special you have to do with questions, and I'll get to that in a little bit, but the question idea is very good. And you repeated the point. Did you notice that? Julie repeated the point? Yeah. She covered it again, so just in case you missed it, she covered it again. So for instance, she says you want to make sure you state the problem. Then later on she said state the problem, and state the problem. Unlike a book, you can't reread a speech. So it's good to repeat things just so the audience gets it in their head in case they aren't taking notes. Thoughts for development. The thing that can go wrong with questions, if you ask questions, you may get answers. And so the instinct of the speaker is to cut them off. But answers are good. Even if the audience doesn't say anything, they always answer in their mind. So you want to make sure there's enough time for them to answer the question in their mind. I was trying to answer some of these questions, and you'd gone on the next question before I had a chance to really think about it. You had a place where you got a laugh, which is great, but you kept on going. You had plenty of time. Let it go. Let it roll. Wait till the laugh dies out, then continue. And then finally, it would have been really nice at the end if as you're going through, here, see what I did, what I didn't do. Well, here's the place where I did this. I made this really effectively. I didn't do this over here. Next time I would do it this way. Really break it down. Here are the 4 things you're looking for. Here are where the 4 things occurred or where they didn't occur. So the last thing people hear is a recap. It's very important 4 points.
Well, Julia, it's always great to be able to hear you up there because you're very expressive. And actually, it kind of surprises me because I don't expect it, and you really go out of your way to be very expressive, especially with some of the role playing that you did. And also, as Solomon said, asking the question at the beginning, I think that is very, very well done. It set us up for what was to follow. And I also like that you were able to take a risk in bringing up Jenna or Shannon, because you use both names. So
Alias.
split personality, or maybe there's two names to bring her up. So I really like it because it shifts the momentum, and now as an audience member, I feel like, oh, I'm going to be entertained in some fashion, and I was. What I'd like to see perhaps improved is, I noticed at the beginning that one of the hand was up, it just seemed a little bit too mechanical as you were waiting for the other hand to come up, and then both hands came up. So I'm thinking there was something not smooth for me to look at that. It seemed like with the hand, you kept going with that, and the other one was very stiff. So depending on how you want to use that. The other part, of course, Shannon mentioned the paper, and that always takes away some of the focus. And the thing that's, two of the quick points, is the setup. Now, I assume that you already set this up before with Shannon to bring her up. And because it's a setup, and we don't know it's a setup, you can really dictate to her what she should do. And Shannon went up there with headphones and so forth, and I think that took away from your message, because now we have to deal with the headphones at the time to put on and all those things. Have your partner come up there. Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to do these things. I want you to respond this way. It's a setup. It's not impromptu. This is a setup. But we don't know as the audience that's a setup. And the last part is that I would share with you that you would come up with an acronym for that. And one that's already out there is called the WIN formula. And it's very similar to WIN. When this happened, I felt, and actually when you were having the role play with Shannon, I didn't get that feeling that you were feeling anything. You were just trying to bring along. There was no feeling there. What I felt is the second part. So W-I, and the last part is need. I need to, I want, or I need you to do this because it'll allow me to do X. So you have your WIN formula. So hopefully that'll help you. And thanks for that.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Julia and Jenny. Jenny was
Jenny.
It's in my book, Jenny. Although this speech didn't require you to have it, you had great body language. You put your whole body into it. That's important. And I learned something. It's important to say what you dislike right away, immediately. That's important. And this asserting yourself effectively. Now, the 4 steps, you follow them very well. Now, I had a little concern with step number 3, specify a solution. Because Jenny came up with another problem. She came up here playing her music. You didn't address it. You didn't address her playing the music. So perhaps she wasn't paying attention because she's so busy listening to her music. So that should have been something else, although you didn't role play it. But Jenny decided, I'm gonna do the music because that would be perfect for her to assert herself. So don't forget, if a new situation pops up, be ready to jump on it. I feel that you were able to tell her more than what has been said already, that the reason why you need the report, you didn't really tell why you need the report. You just say that, well, in addition to the chairman, she rebutted, why does she have to give it to the chairman and you? So you should have said, well, it's important because I keep a complete file on all those happenings, whatever. And the question here, if you were the other person, would you want to fulfill the speaker's request? And Julia, I would have said yes, because you were so nice. And then you gave a nice smile. And you know, a smile can cut across agitation. So you can't keep on being mad at somebody, they smiling, you know? So that was a great strategy. And you overcame the resistance she had by shaking her hand. And you know, you shake somebody's hand, you know this is, oh yeah, everything's fine. So thank you for that presentation.